Hey everyone, this is Ariel Adams of aBlogtoWatch, and today I'm going to review the Apple Watch Series 9. This is the aluminum version in the 45mm long case. So this is basically the entry-level model. But for me, what was really special here was them taking animated dials really to the next level. And I talk more about this in the written review where I show more of these. But essentially, every time you look at this dial, depending on the placement of the hands, you're going to see a different animation. Even for the same hand position, there's a few different animations. So for different times of the day and for different position of the hands, the designers created an enormous subset of little graphics. And what's charming about it is every time you pick it up, and again, it's not going to be as much right now because, again, it's based on the hands position, but there's just different animations. And it makes reading the time fun. It'll show you when it's on my wrist here. The always on state, which has Snoopy sleeping on his doghouse, which is fun. Again, many different little animations that happen. Even with the same hand positions, there's a ton of them. So I thought that was a really great feature. There you go. You can see the always on state, which is just, it's actually quite bright. And that's another thing that Apple did with the latest series of the Apple Watch is increase the brightness of the screen. I think the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is the brightest, but even the basic ones have brighter screens there. And that is pretty good for an always on state. When this first came out as an always on state, it was quite dimmer. And I think what's been very impressive is Apple has been able to increase the brightness without having a material effect on the battery life, which is, of course, everyone's concern. The new operating system has a little bit of different look. The apps, for example, are more of a scrolled list as opposed to that kind of globular mass of little icons. That was cool, but didn't always necessarily work. And there's also a new screen here that shows you the different types of open apps that's again revised a little bit there. So I think there's a lot of little tweaks that are quite nice in the new series of the Apple Watch. I use the Apple Watch for fitness a lot. I like it very much for that. I want to show you some of the other new dials here. Let's see here. This is called the Pallet and the Solar Analog. This is a very pretty one here. And it changes from day to night. But what you see here is that interesting animation as the seconds hand sweeps. You can, of course, change some of the parameters on the dial there. But this is very interesting to see some of the artistic things that Apple is doing with the various dials. Let me show you the other one here. This is called the Pallet. Not too dissimilar if you think about it, right? This is like kind of similar concept. Of course, you can make adjustments to the various complications on the dial that are displayed, as well as the colors. This new strap material is part of the sustainability measures that Apple is trying to promote, and this has recycled elements. So this is one of the Nike straps, and you can see the poured look there, but they also have other colors of this available. These are just fashionable and fun. Of course, there was big news about the Apple Watch being carbon neutral, Apple making various claims about how this is essentially a net zero carbon product, and a lot of companies are following into line with that, and we're not necessarily sure what that means, but part of it, of course, is carbon offsets, as well as, just basically more sustainable practices in manufacturing, and that's definitely a good thing. I'm going to be doing another review of the new Ultra version of the Apple Watch, which I think is the one that has really captured the hearts of the community here. But this one has been a lot of fun. Got to go back to the Snoopy dial. I want to see more of these. I talk a lot more about that in the review, but these types of fully animated dials that have a lot of variety, that give you a sense of diversity, and I'm not sure what's going to happen when I pick up my watch. A great touch. I'd like to see more of that. You can see the full review of the Apple Watch Series 9 on aBlogtoWatch. This 45mm long version starts at $429 in this version, and it goes up from there. Again, you can see more on aBlogtoWatch. Thank you so much.